There was two people I met who came and they had stage 4 cancer before. And they told me that they actually beat the stage 4 cancer. And I was like, how did you do that? And they was telling me fasting. We are made to fast, we can do it. If you look in history, you go all the way back to Egypt. Egyptians, they were talking about fasting. The Greeks, you look at the Prophet Muhammad, Jesus fasted 40 days, Buddha fasted. The health industry makes billions a year from people's illnesses. If they cure these type of illnesses, people go out of business. It's like even with the food industry, it causes all the diseases. Like all the diseases normally start from the gut. I'm surprised I haven't got diabetes already because I know some people who's died from diabetes and my diet was worse than theirs.
How do you go 13 days without food? What's your body using? Let's go, bro.
Let's go, bro.
Let's go. Man, I want to start by saying, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Yeah, man. And like your wisdom, especially, around fasting and your journey. I'm really curious and intrigued and to, dive into your journey when it comes to fasting and how you use it to, for your own health and use it for the health of your clients and your audience. So yeah, man, let's get stuck in.
Let's go.
Yeah. So for fasting, like when it comes to your fasting journey, how did you even get introduced to fasting? And what was your journey with it originally?
So, fasting's always been a thing that people hear about. Like, you hear, people into Islam, Muslims, so they fast all the time. So we always hear that first. That would be, I think, the beginning for most people. And I really got more into fasting because one of my mentors who taught me martial arts, he got cancer and he found that it was already stage 4 cancer, but he was still running about before that. And he got hit hard and he died and, he didn't want to do no chemo or anything like that. He said he would go out on his sword and he died through that. And then during that time, I met a lot of people who he knew to come and see him. And I was like one of his main students. So I was always the first to meet people. And there was two people I met who came and they had stage 4 cancer before. And they told me that they actually beat the stage 4 cancer. And I was like, how did you do that? And they was telling me fasting. So one of them did a 30-day juice fast. And, another one done a 21-day water fast. And what happened is that they had stage 4 cancer. The doctors was like, there's nothing we can do. The best thing, you go to a hospice and see your last days off. And both of them had kids, families, and they refused that this was going to be their last time. So they took up fasting and the tumors shrunk and they beat the cancers. And the doctors was surprised of like, wow, how do you do that? So, I started talking to them and it was quite interesting. And unfortunately for my trainer at the time, it was like just too late. And he's quite, in his old ways, he was ready for it kind of thing. And then when I was traveling, one of my other mentors, who was also a martial arts instructor, he died from stage 4 cancer as well. And then another one of my mentors, he was more like my business mentor, and he got cancer and I heard that he died. And so it really got me thinking about, this whole cancer, because everybody I know, or someone I know who knows someone else who's got cancer, everyone's dying from cancer. So then when I'm hearing this fasting could actually cure cancer, I thought, yeah, man, I've got to try this. But it's like, so a lot of people on my network, they always say, man, I can't even do one day. And I laugh because when I thought about fasting, I got to do 4 hours, Like if you ask anyone who knows me from way back, and like they say about Simon fasting back in them days, they're like, Simon, he's always eating something, and so it was only when the pandemic happened, I ended up in Thailand. And then one of my close friends, Marvin Francis, he was doing a 13-day fast. And I thought, you know what? I want to jump on this with him, like to support him. But then at the same time, I'm held accountable. So this will like kind of keep me in. So it's like a lot of time when people ask me about fasting, I always say, try to do it in groups because you're held accountable. You know, it makes you hold it in. When you're on your own, it's like so easy to jump out. So he done a 13-day fast. It's called the Superman fast. And when I first started that, because I had a big following, because I was running a charity thing before, and I had a lot of people following, and I had so many different type of professionals because of the training I used to do. I was a martial artist, and I had sports scientists, doctors, nutritionists, and all these other people saying to me like, oh, they don't think it's a good idea, blah, 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 blah. And all of them, I said, have you done a 3-day fast? They was like, no. I said, have you done a 1-day fast? They was like, no. I was like, I'm going to shut up. Let me do my thing, you know? So I started doing the fast, and I was teaching at the time martial arts, boxing. So I was fully training myself as well with weights and circuit training. And I was training. And I think, sorry, should I carry on with this? Because I'm...
Yeah, 100%. I think it's fascinating.
Okay, cool.
You're here and it's like a 13-day fast, first of all.
Okay, yeah.
This is
13-day fast, 13 days. So then,
yeah,
it's quite interesting because, like I say, I didn't know what to expect. So it got to day 4 or day 5. And, you know, before then, I'm training like 2-3 times a day. And I got all this energy. Then I woke up one morning and I was just like, I just had no energy. And I was thinking, oh my God. I stayed in bed. I thought, you know what? If I feel like this tomorrow, I'm going to have to break my fast. And then, you know, the next day I woke up. When I woke up, I had this mad energy. I had so much energy. And then, just after that, I had just done the 13 days. And the training I was doing was crazy training. And man, it was just unbelievable that I could actually do that type of training. And so many people who was not against me, but going against the idea, they was following my journey because I was actually doing it on the social media. And people was like, wow, like you actually changed my views on fasting. So, I mean, that's the main way how I got into doing fasting. And then
it's quite the deep end.
It's
straight in at a 13-day.
Yeah, I don't do nothing halfway. I'll go full in. So, but it was really interesting because it was a learning curve. There's so many people talk about fasting, this, that. It's like, have you done fasting before? Or people like to say the views on fasting. Have you done it before? So it's like me doing it for 13 days and training fully on. It's like, you know, I'm in a good position to actually talk back to people or answer questions or, you know, go into debates with it because I've done it, I proved it. And since then, that was 5 years ago, I've done so many prolonged fasts. So, yeah.
And what are some of the different ways that someone can fast? Like the word fasting, like what does that actually mean to you? And then also what is like the myth around fasting?
You know, there's so many different fasts. You got water fast, you got dry fast, you got fast that Muslims do. It's like, you know, so you do it from you don't eat no food when the sun's up and you eat when the sun's down kind of thing. You got the OMAD fast, 1 meal a day fast. You got a lot of people now talking about the juice fast and this fast, but to me, it's like the word fasting is when you go without food. So that's what I really like to, when people ask me about it, I'm like, that's just a diet, a special diet. Fasting is when you have no food, you know, and your body's got no nutrition coming in, nothing like that. So,
yeah. Man, it's so fascinating because 13 days, even that as like a baseline. So someone listening, maybe like, but how do you go 13 days without food? Like what's your body using?
So when we fast, it's like, let's take it back. So we eat a lot and our bodies are so smart. So when your body only needs a certain amount of energy per day. So if you eat more food than you need, your body's so smart. It goes, you know what? We're going to store this as fat because, you know, you go back thousands of years ago, there would have been times when, you know, food becomes scarce, you know, maybe famine or, you know, certain seasons of the year where there's no food growing up, animals go into hibernation. So our bodies are still designed for back then. So when we got no food, like the body goes, all right, we need energy now. And it goes to the fat storage. So I like to call the fat storage the packed lunch. So it's like you're saving this packed lunch for hard times. So in your fat, you get your energy from it. You also get certain vitamins. I think it's A, E, K, and I think there's another one, but it's like, so you do get certain vitamins. So you basically, like I say, it's a packed lunch. So you got what you can take. I think also there was a guy, the Guinness Book of Records, he'd done over a year. It was 300 and something days of fasting. I mean, obviously this guy was fat. So he had all the packed lunch that he needed to do it. But so yeah, it's like, yeah, we are made to fast. We can do it. If you look in history, you go all the way back to Egypt. Egyptians, like they were talking about fasting. The Greeks, the Romans, everyone done fasting, and all religions. You look at the Prophet Muhammad, Jesus fasted 40 days. Buddha fasted. So it's like it's always been there. Even when you hear the word breakfast, break that in half. Break, fast. So that's another story. That one maybe for later.
Yeah, man. We've got time. We can dive into.
Yeah, we'll dive back into that one later.
Yeah. So fascinating. Yeah, when it comes to the fasting world, it's like, how can someone use the concept of fasting? The type of person who wants to optimize their health, they want to have it in all areas. Like they want to have great relationships, also build businesses and create wealth. How can they use the tool of of fasting in their day-to-day lives, or week to week, month to month?
Well, I mean, first off, is that to do fast is discipline. You got to be very disciplined to do it. You got so many temptations. It's more of a mindset. So a lot of people talk about hunger. It's like, I learned from the 13 days of fasting that there come a time where I'm not actually hungry, but the mind, oh my God, the mind will play all the tricks on you in the world to break your fast. So even when I'd done a 13-day fast, I saw my friend doing the fast, but he was already 3 days into it. So when I jump on the fast to it with him, when he got to day 13, I'm on day 10. But then my mind starts saying that, oh man, you know what? You done 10 days. That's a good number, equal number 10. Like, you might as well break your fast. I was like, no. I'm going to charge you 13 days. And he's like, come on, man. What do you have to prove? Everyone's going to be like, wow, anyway, you done 10 days, And there's all these little mind tricks. And there's so many different mind tricks that the mind's playing against you. So I feel like, learning to fast, like, is so great for the mind. And, if you're looking to succeed in certain things in professional business and stuff like that, it's a great thing, because if you can control the mind, wow, I know there's a saying on it, but yeah, controlling the mind is a major thing.
Yeah.
In life.
Yeah, like that discipline and also I think even the small like introductions to fasting, which I've done, and the experiences that I've had, I've realized how many belief systems I held around energy and food, which got destroyed the second I did like a 3-day fast. And then I was like, hang on, like I thought I needed food for fuel.
Of energy.
Yeah. Like, and it was just fascinating from a belief perspective to have them debunked and broken.
Programmed, like breakfast, the most important meal of the day. When it's like, it's not, because you eat food yesterday, you still got that food in your stomach. You still got that energy from that. So you don't actually need breakfast. It's like I was saying earlier, the word breakfast, break it in half, it says break fast. I forget the guy's name, but he was one of the top people in propaganda. And, they paid him money because the bacon and some cows wasn't really selling well, and they wanted to try and make it go more up in the market, and they paid him money. And he made up this whole thing. Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. And the stocks went back up, on the whole breakfast thing. And everyone believes that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And, if you go back maybe in the early 1900s, it's that people wake up, they might have had a hot drink and they go to work. And they don't have the first meal until afternoon. So that's when you're breaking your fast. So breakfast.
Yeah, so interesting. And like with someone who maybe like, but I like food and I like my breakfast. Like, how can they still use this concept? Because for you, like, how often do you fast? I know you're on a fast at the minute, right?
Yeah,
on what, day 8?
Yeah, day 8 now on a fast.
Of no food.
No food, just water. You can drink coffee, green tea.
Yeah.
I have apple cider vinegar in the morning with water. That kind of takes away your hunger. And then now I've started doing this whole sea moss thing as well, because so the thing is like, when you're fasting, this is an important thing as well. So when you're fasting, yes, you have no food in that, you have water, but you need to take like salt or some sort of diet,
Like electrolyte?
electrolytes,
Yeah,
thank you very
yeah.
much. Just make sure I ain't got no sweeteners in it. But your body, like I say, you can get everything from your fat, but your body doesn't hold on to minerals. So you need to have your salts. So then, my family's Jamaican, half of my family, and it's like we have sea moss. So when I was studying sea moss on it before, it's like sea moss has 102 or 98 minerals 98 minerals of the 102 minerals that our body needs. So it's got everything there, where sea salt has got, I think it's like 84, Himalayan salt's got 76 of the minerals. So my last fast, I just got sea moss, I've prepared it, and then every morning I just take a spoon of that. And again, that helps, actually takes away my hunger and stuff like that. So I'm fully got all my minerals that we need. Because we are actually just stardust. We are made of minerals. So
yeah, amazing. Let's break down the fasting then. So someone who's curious about fasting and they want to dive in, like what's the process of, let's start with like the preparation. How do you prepare for a fast and decide what fast is the right one for you to begin with?
I mean, it's up to some people. It's like, when I've done a fast, I didn't do no preparation. I just jumped into it. And this is where we go back to what we were saying earlier off camera. A lot of people say this, that, but they've never done fasting before. Where I've done a 13-day fast, and I've done so many other 10-day fasts and 7 days fast, I've done it many times, and so many times I haven't prepared, and I just jump into it, and I do amazing, and I train fully. And like I say, it's like you got the fat storages, it's got the energy in it, and the whole thing of fasting is like you're waiting for all the food to leave your stomach, and then that's when the magic starts happening. So it's like after day 3, you get autophagy starts kicking off. Your growth hormones, your testosterone levels takes some massive spikes. So your body starts repairing itself. So it's like, people talk about eating this, like that. Yes, I do believe mostly clean yourself out, do a lot of juicing beforehand. That will be a good way. But like if you're just going to do like 1 day fast, 3 days, you can just jump into it. But if you want to do a proper healing one where you're doing like 5 or 7 days or longer, start, juicing 2 days or 3 days beforehand, eating fruit, come off like, processed foods, meats, carbs and all that stuff, and just get yourself cleaned out beforehand. So, and get ready to start.
Right. So that's like the prepare, and then prepare with, was it electrolytes? So
get electrolytes. Electrolytes, just make sure you've got no added sweeteners in it. Many do. And sea salt. Himalayan salt is good, and you get the Celtic sea salt. And now I'm doing the sea moss. So, but this right now is like with the food industry, like you see on my social media, there's so much fake food, fake this, fake that. So you got Himalayan salt now, people getting salt and just making it pink. Now there's a lot of new studies coming out that the sea salt has got so much plastic in it and it got certain metals in it. So it's like, it's getting really hard to do it so clean. But this is why with the sea moss now, that's a new thing I'm actually looking into, and how good is that just alone? So we can maybe avoid having to take salt maybe.
Interesting. So yeah, like that's like to preparing,
and that's like all the stuff that you need. There's water, and
because it's right, you're just going without food, right? It sounds so simple.
So you think of all the other diets. I don't have to call it a diet. It's a way of life. But all these diets, what people do, you got to get this certain food. You got to do this. You got to do that. This one, no money. Just stop eating. Throw away all your food out your fridge. Okay, and it's that simple.
Yeah. All right. So then when you start the fast, so then it's you're going no food, just water, some sea moss, some salts.
Yeah.
What are the experiences that you found working with clients maybe that you've taken through the fasting journey? What are some experiences that you found that they've had, like some challenges that they came across so that it can prepare someone who
watching? Yeah. So one of the main things what everyone says is that they message me and say, Simon, I'm feeling dizzy, I'm feeling lightheaded. And I always say, have you been taking your salt? They're like, oh no. I'm like, take your salt, take quite a lot of it and you should be okay. Let's see how you are tomorrow. Next day, they're like, yeah, I feel good now. So as again, you got to take your minerals. Your body needs minerals. So yeah, that would be one of the main things.
Yeah. And any other challenges that you find, like maybe when it comes to hunger?
Hunger. So yeah, so I help people with the hunger thing. So this is a thing I normally say. I say to people, like, there's a hunger hormone called ghrelin. And ghrelin, it comes and it goes. So if I knew this before, it would have made my life easy. Like I did learn this on a 13-day fast, but before I always try to do a fast and I'll break it within 6 hours. Because once I feel hungry, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to feel like this all day.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I can't do this. But it's like, ghrelin is a hunger hormone. It comes, it goes. So I say to people, like, you ever been at work before and you're so hungry and you think, you know what, when I get home, I want to eat like a horse. But it's like, it takes you so long to get home. And when you get home, you get there and you think, I'm not hungry anymore. That's the ghrelin. So it's a spike. It comes, it goes. So normally like half an hour, 45 minutes is going to go. So I say to people, when you get that feeling, at least you know that it's not going to be there. It doesn't mean forever. Maybe jump on a call with someone who you haven't spoken to for a long time. Because you're going to start chat. You forget. I'll go for a jog. I'll do something that will take your mind off it and it will go. And once they experience that, it goes, they'll be like, so it does work. So that's like one of the challenges that people have with the whole hunger thing. They're like, oh my God, I feel hungry. But yeah, the ghrelin, it comes, it goes. It's a hunger hormone.
Yeah, cheeky one as well, right?
Yeah, it's a cheeky one. It's like, again, it's like, if you're shown this type of knowledge, it just makes your life easy. So it's like, anyone's doing fasting, I was like, definitely look into that. Look into the salt stuff, the minerals, and just do as much research as you can. I mean, there's a guy called Jason Fung. He's one of the top people who I started following first in fasting. And he was a doctor for diabetes. And so many patients was dying, losing limbs, going blind. And he was thinking to himself, like, he's a doctor who's supposed to cure, but he's not curing them. He's just putting a bandage on it. And then he got into fasting. And, since then he's cured so many people type 2 diabetes. And again, it's like, people are like, about the research. It's like, they don't want anyone to know about this research because the amount of money diabetes make a year. So like, even me, I was like, how comes Jason Fung ain't out in the world? Like, everyone should be knowing who this guy is. He's saved so many people. Like, yeah, let's use research. He's got so much stuff on the internet, but you just don't hear about these people. So,
why do you think that is?
It's the world that we live in. I'm a conspiracy theorist. And that's what we try to label me as. Like the pandemic, I was totally on the other side of the fence with it. And people was calling me out saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm crazy. Listen to the doctors. Even like I said earlier, I got some friends who are into the medical field. And he didn't like the stuff that I was putting out on social media. Because he said, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not a professional. I was, yeah, I'm not. And he put me in a group with all these doctors. And, the doctors were challenging me and I was saying what I was thinking and they were trying to make me feel so small. 2 years went by, all the stuff came out about the pandemic. And, me being my cheeky self, I went back on the group. I was like, hey guys, how you doing? Do you remember me? I just copied the same thing what I said before. No one didn't want to say nothing. And again, it's like, doctors are, not all doctors, but most doctors, like, they read and they're taught what they've been shown. They don't step out of their comfort zone or step out of that thing and think, let me try to think. So it's like Jason Fung. He sees that what he was taught is not helping, it's not curing. So he thought, let me go against what I know and step out of my zone. And, look at him now. He's curing so many people. So it's like, again, the health industry makes billions a year from people's, illnesses. And if they cure these type of illnesses, people go out of business. It's like even with the food industry. The food industry is like, it causes all the diseases. Like all the diseases normally start from the gut. So it's all about what you eat. And if you look at what we eat now, it's like, so a lot of people say to me about diets. They say, what's a good diet? I say, okay, cool. If you could not buy the food 1,000 years ago, don't eat it. So I say, like, imagine you go into a supermarket right now and you take out all the food what wasn't there 1,000 years ago. You're going to be left with fruit, veg, meat, and vegetables. And that's it. Stick to that and try to buy, the best organic. I don't like using the word organic, but like the most healthiest type. So, but yeah, I think, like I say, reason fasting ain't really been pushed out is it goes against so many things. It's like if people start fasting, like most people fast in the mornings, imagine the breakfast industry, they'll lose billions if people start fasting.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and it's like to move back into our personal power of actually like this is the energy we have within us. So now you're doing a 10-day fast, is that right? Yeah. So for you, how often do you fast? And also, actually, before that one, what is your protocol when you finish a fast? When you then go back to eating, like how do you reintroduce food? I can imagine you're probably like, yeah, I just want to eat everything, or maybe not. I don't know. What's your protocol?
Okay, so this is quite good. So people watching this will help them out. Rome was not built in a day; it was built at night. But no, so before, a lot of people look at me because I'm doing training and all this stuff my whole life. They think like, you must eat healthy and all that. My diet was one of the worst diets out there. And people are like, nah, not as bad as mine. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm from London. I'm from East London, Hackney. Okay, so it's like, I was more of a street boy when I was growing up. And I was always out on what we call always out on road, always out on the street. So my normal day will be I wake up, I'll go to the cafe, I'll get a full English breakfast, egg, bacon, chips, beans, all that stuff. Then I used to get this milkshake, which is not a healthy milkshake, and that'll be my breakfast. I never used to drink water near enough at all. So you get the bottles of Dr. Pepper and Cherry Coke, the 2 liters. I used to drink about 2 of them a day. So I was drinking 4 liters of fizzy drink. Then for lunch, I mostly get chicken and chips from a cheap shop, and then you get a can with that. And then later on, I might buy that meal again, or I'll go and get a Turkish kebab with another fizzy drink. And between that, you get the big chocolate bars, Cadbury's. I've definitely one of those a day.
Wow.
Sometimes you get the packs and you go to these special shops where you get 7 bars. I eat all that. I used to eat about 4 to 8 packets of crisps every day. So yeah, my diet was really, really bad. And, when we go back to talking about my mentors and watching them, how they died, and it made me look at that, wow, it's the food what's doing this. And then I started looking at myself and I was thinking to myself like, wow, I'm surprised I haven't got diabetes already, because I know some people who's died from diabetes and my diet was worse than theirs. So this is when I thought to myself, instead of waiting until it knocks on my door, I want to jump on this now. I'm going to start curing myself now. I'm not going to wait, 5 years from now and they tell me I got diabetes or I got cancer. So that's why I started fasting back then, because I don't want to wait for the bad news. So yeah, I've just been fasting, trying to keep that up, trying to clean my inside. So it's not for weight loss and stuff like that. I do it for inner health.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's fascinating. So it's like, so when you come to an end of a fast.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's like what?
So yeah, I'll get back to that bit then.
Yeah.
So a lot of people nothing ain't perfect. No, it's a journey. Fasting is your personal journey. Yeah. I didn't go into my fast and I was eating healthy all the time, because before my fast, chocolate every day, fizzy drink every day.
This was before your first.
This was before my first fast. So
wow.
when I broke my fast, I was looking up all the information. I had a bone broth, then I had a smoothie, and that went straight through me out because my system's just totally unclogged now. And then I had a healthy meal, and then I got a sweet tooth. I went in the shop to get some water. The chocolate bar was looking at me. I'm looking at the chocolate bar. And he's like, yo, Simon, come pick me up. And my mind's playing tricks. I was like, I bought that chocolate. As soon as I ate that chocolate, maybe, my cravings or the parasites, whatever, I had that chocolate, and then I had more chocolate and more chocolate. And then I sat there and thought, oh my God, I thought, now I might as well eat some more crisps and eat some more junk food. So, you have a journey. So it's like, as I keep doing these fasts, I get better each time of breaking my fast. It's like, 5 years from back then, like now when I break my fast, I'm so much more better. I'm not like now, I don't drink fizzy drinks no more. I don't eat chocolate. If I do, it'd be like 80% or 100% dark chocolate. So like I say, it's a journey for your health thing. Rome wasn't built in a day. So, 5 years from now, I'm amazing from what I was.
Yeah.
But for anyone who's watching this, like, don't beat yourself up. You fall down, get back up and go again. It's the kind of thing. So breaking your fast, bone broth is really good. Having fruit juice. If you're doing it depends what you're doing your fast for as well. So it's like, people doing a proper cleanser and, looking at diseases, stuff like that. Break your fast, have juice. The juice has got so much goodness in it, flushing out all the rest of the gunk in your body. And then, maybe other people who are doing it for weight loss or losing fat. Before you go on to doing fasting, you really want to be eating proteins and fats. So when I break my fast before, or have so when I was doing the broth or the smoothies, it would just go right through me. Like within 2 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm on the toilet. I was thinking to myself, man, is my body holding on? Is my body holding on all to the nutriments? Is it just going through? Which I do think it does grab it. But then I was speaking to someone else who owns one of the biggest gyms in Southeast Asia, Muscle Factory. But well done. But this guy's a genius. Like, he knows so much information. So when I was telling him my situation, he goes, have an omelette and have some cottage cheese. So when I had that, my body held on to it, no problem, and I feel good. And I think that when you break your fast like that, your blood sugars are still low. So then you're still in fat burning. Where if you're, like I say, if you're looking to do fasting for losing fat, if you have fruit and all that, that might spike your insulin levels. So this is something I'm actually want to be studying very soon. So I want to get a blood tester thing. So I want to see what I look like before, maybe fast for 2-3 days, eat some fruit and see how it actually spikes. Because again, I have a lot of people on my social media where they talk about, fruit, it's got sugar, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. So I'm like, yeah, but sometimes, again, like with the fasting, do it and see how it is. A lot of people never done it before. So, we don't actually know. So, I want to do a fast, eat the fruit and see how high my blood sugar levels actually go. And maybe put that to rest as well.
Yeah, test it. Like
test it.
Be your own guinea pig.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, and this is what it is. My whole fasting thing, I've done so many different type of fasts. There's one I've done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, water fast. Thursday, I eat what I want, but like proteins and fat. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll go to intermittent fasting. And, on that one, I've done a good video on that. And it's like, I cut so much fat because, again, my body's like, we need energy. So the first thing it goes to is your fat. Then everyone's got cancer cells in them, but they're not activated. But then the body goes, let's use the cancer cells. Let's use the dead protein cells. So it starts using all this stuff up. So it's like, yeah.
Really fascinating, yeah.
Yeah, it's very fascinating.
Getting back to your body, like doing the work, right? Using its sources.
Yeah, because it's like, when we talk about the whole autophagy, right, this is quite an interesting one. So mainly when we go into a fasting state, maybe like 2 days in, your body goes into autophagy. And that's when your body starts breaking down all the stuff and start cleaning itself out. So the way I try to say to people, I say that, imagine you moved into someone's house, and they've been living there 20 years before you. So they've got all this stuff in there. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to take all the stuff out, the wallpaper, the carpet, the furniture, and then you're going to put all your new stuff in. This is what your body does when you're going into a deep fast. Your body starts breaking down all the old cells, all the dead proteins and this and that. And you got all these amazing things that your body starts to rebuild. Like, we get new brain cells and everything. Your body just rebuilds itself from scratch. So again, like, fasting to me is like everybody should be fasting. At least once a year, you should do like a 7-day fast, a 5-day fast. It's like, if you got a car, once a year, you take it for a service. Yeah. If you don't take your car for a service, after a while, your car is going to have problems. But so we will do that for our car, but we don't do that for our own bodies. And you think this is your vehicle. This gets you from when you're born until you're dead. And a lot of people, they get to 50s, 60s, they're ill, they're unhealthy. So their last years of their life, like, it's not really pleasant. But it's like, you look at some people who've been in fasting and living a life really healthy, like they're getting up to like 70, 80. I'm watching people who I've been following, is that, this 80 years old still can do pull-ups. I look at people in their 60s can't even do one pull-up, one press up.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you want to be when you're 60? How do you want to be when you're 70? Like, I still want to be running around. If I have grandchildren, like, I want to still be able to run around with them. I want to have some fun. I don't want to be this old, fragile person.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why health is so important. Like,
Health
without
is
that,
wealth.
yeah, without that, it's like, that's the only thing you wish for, right?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you can have 10 million pounds in your bank account. But if you're like 70 years old and you're all not well and this and that, you wish that you could give all that money away to get your health back.
Yeah.
So like all that money and all this stuff like means nothing now. Like, once your health is your major thing, it's like, you got no health, like, it's a problem.
Yeah.
You have no problems until you have a health problem. Now,
Yeah.
you could have 100 problems, but when you got health, all them problems, you forget about them problems. This is your number one problem. So yeah, I think everybody should, do one fast a year at least. Recommended 2 times a year, but
Yeah. What would be the difference between a male and female when it comes to fasting?
Okay, this is really interesting. So I started doing my social media page, and I'm hearing what so many other people have been saying, and telling women are saying, I'm gonna do a 7-day fast, I'm gonna do a 10-day fast, and no one ain't correcting them. It's like, so women's bodies have so much different hormones. So it's very different from a man. And he's like, you go back 1,000 years ago, women wasn't the ones who going out hunting and, having to do all this manly stuff. So our bodies are made to do that. So we might go out hunting for 3 days. We might not have food. So our bodies are made for that structure. Women are made to have kids, babies. So, they need to have all these different type of hormones. So when women doing a fast, if not done correctly, it can really throw their hormones out of whack. So a good way to look into it, there's a called Dr. Cindy. You'll find her on Instagram. I think any women that ask me about fasting, I'm like, go and follow her. She's amazing, because she's all about the women's side of it, all the hormones. So women have 4 stages of their hormone stuff when they're going on to their period, and near at the end of when they're going onto the period, their body's different. Their hormones are acting up, and you're flushing out everything to prepare for the new egg to come through and stuff like that. So, I think after your special time of the month, that would be quite a good time to do a fast. Don't look into doing like 10-day fast unless you're doing it for real health reasons like cancer, stuff like that. Doing a 3-day fast, a 5-day fast, could be good, but at the right time. As for men, we can jump in it whenever we want.
Yeah. It's so interesting. Yeah. So for a man, it's just, crack on and you can do however long. I mean, how long would your longest it was 13 days?
13 days, yeah. So
yeah. What would you recommend to someone just starting? I know you jumped in the deep end and was like, I'm doing 13. Would you just say feel into it? And
so, yeah, I've been with a lot of people where I meet people on my travels. So I've been traveling for 7 years, and, we start talking about fasting. They'll be like, I always want to do a fast. I'm like, let's do one next week. I always like to start on a Monday, and we do a Monday, and then they're like, I'm only going to do 24 hours. I'm like, okay, cool. We do 24 hours. And then I'm like, how do you feel to that? Not as bad as I thought. I'm like, always throw this at them. I'm like, that actually the real magic starts when you get to day 3. And they're like, really? And I explained to them about the photography and how your growth hormones and stuff like that. They're like, okay, I'm going to do one more. I said, all right, just get 48 hours. To get to 48 hours, I'm like, how do you feel? I'm like, not that bad, I mean, I felt a little bit hungry, but, it goes like you said. And then, then we get out to day 3, and most of them like, yeah, day 3 is enough, because it's that, I get this. You just want some sort of taste in your mouth. I want like a party disco in my mouth. Like, that's the only thing I do miss. You know? So, yeah. But yeah, I think 3 days is amazing. If you really want to push it, it'd be great if you can get to day 3. Try to go for another 24 hours, because that's when that's when your whole body really goes into preparing itself to autophagy. Well, that's when that really kicks off on day 3, because that's when your food is totally left your system. So now it's like the real cleanup, the real mending, and all that stuff starts. So
right. So for a guy listening, like, go for, even just start with 24 hours, but if you can, go for 3 days plus, because then that's when the magic starts to happen.
Yeah. So
for a female, really think about what your cycle and do it after.
Yeah, I mean, you can do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Like, do that every day. That's really good for you. We're not made to be eating 3-5 meals a day. You know, you go back 1,000 years ago, there was no fridge, no freezer. You know, you wasn't killing an animal every hour or whatever it is. There was no supermarket. So, you know, intermittent fasting for women is great. Yeah, and doing it after your cycle would be one of the best times. But like I say, check out Dr. Mindy on Instagram, or you can catch her up on the YouTube. Like, this woman's got all the information, you know. So
yeah, that's sweet. And then so once you've done, say, like a few day fast, or you've experienced it, how often would you recommend going back and doing a fast? Is there a certain time that you decide to do it, or do you just feel into it depending on where you're at?
For most people watching, I say like at least once a month, do a 5 to 7 day fast. Great.
At least once a month?
So once a year. Sorry.
Once a year. I was going to say
you're like, really?
Yeah.
Once a year is great, to do a 5-7 day, because like I say, you service your car. If you think that you need to get my car serviced, then you should be serving your body once a year. Twice a year is really good. I think that's good. A lot of people, so when I start doing the fast, and I started off my page, I started doing the Simon Says Fast, and it was a 7-day fast blast. So the first Monday of every month, it was 7 days fasting. And a lot of people were jumping on it. But I said to people, you know, this is your journey. You never done it before? Try to do 24 hours. You know, if you've done 24 hours before, try 48 hours. You know, even do like 1 day on, 1 day off, or do 2 days and then take 2 days off and do another 2 days. You got that whole 7-day window to do the fasting. And it was just a way for people who was interested to jump on it. It wasn't on their own. You know, you're with a community of people to do it. So, and I was doing that every month for 1 year. And like I said, I just always try and different stuff, because to me, it's like, it's very interesting. I do it for my health, my inner health first, but I do like sharing with people and trying to help people. So it's like, again, it's only now like there's quite a lot of information coming out on it, but there's a lot of stuff still need to be researched. So yeah, I'm kind of using myself as a guinea pig of doing these fasts. So
I love that too, because it's actually to go through the process yourself. And this is why, you know, for those that are listening, if they've not tried it but they're curious, actually like to give something like this a go. And then obviously like do your research before, and, you know, make sure you have the things like the electrolytes in place, and you've listened to the information, like whether you're a woman or a man, like it's slightly different. But then give it a try. And the worst case scenario is you eat something.
Yeah. You know? I tell you what, I get all the time. And this is why I'm actually doing this fast right now. So I get so many of these muscle people, fitness people, and they're like, oh, you lose muscle if you fast. I get people messaging me saying that, you know, I started training, I'm building my muscle. Like, I want to do the fast here, but I'm really scared about losing my muscle. So now it's like, this is where I feel like I'm really starting to come out on this one, really strong on this, because I've done 13 days and my body was amazing. So then was it a year ago? I'd done one fast, and I'd done a 10-day fast, and I went on special scales, checked my muscle mass, my fat mass, my water mass, bone density, and all that stuff. It was really top scales. And I get all these people who think they know everything. I train my ass off 2 to 3 times a day. And at the end of the fast, I lost 8 kilos. Well, I'll say 3 kilos of that is food because you always have food in your stomach. So let's just say I lost 5 kilos of fat. I lost 1 kilo of muscle. Now, there's going to be a lot of people watching and say, see, I told you lost 1 kilo of muscle. I lost 1 kilo of muscle on that scales. When I start refeeding myself, in 3 days, I had that muscle back again. It's impossible to get a kilo of muscle in 3 days. So again, I can't say I actually know this. Just stuff I'm experiencing by myself. Maybe my muscle just deflated. Yeah. And these scales, I mean, you just stand on it. It's an electrical thing. How dead on can it be? So, but for me, like I say, I lost 1 kilo of muscle, but in 3 days I put the muscle back on. So that's another thing that I would love to see someone research. I'm trying to look into it myself, but obviously I don't have the funds. I don't have the stuff around me to do it properly, scientifically. So,
but actually just your own experience is really interesting.
Yes.
Like there's a guy like yourself who's smashes martial arts and
weight
trains
training,
hard.
circuits,
and just your results. And then also the clients that you've worked with. And it's just interesting because that is obviously what a very like common thing to think, right? It's like, if I go 10 days without food,
I'm gonna lose my muscle.
I'm gonna lose all these gains. Like I've been training so hard in the gym, lifting, I'm gonna lose them.
So that's a quite a funny one. So I get it, like I say, I get it all the time. So I say to people, okay, what's the fastest animal on earth? If they're smart enough, they'll say, it's a cheetah. Okay, the cheetah hasn't eaten in 3 days, 4 days. It's hungry, yeah? What's its biggest asset to catch its food? It's its muscles. It's got to trace its food down, yeah? So now, if the body's got fat and it's got muscles, what do you think it's going to use? Do you think it's going to use the muscle and not the fat? Of course it's going to use the fat. And that's what we were talking about earlier. When you eat more food than you need, your body will hold that fat for times like that. Another one I use is like the bear. Before a bear goes into hibernation, it eats a lot, as much as it can, it has all that fat. And when it's hibernating, what is the body feeding off? Muscles? No, feeding off its fat. Because when it comes out of hibernation, it's got to hunt, it's got to defend itself or whatever it is. So it's going to need its muscles. Your muscle is your survival. Without muscles, that you're fucked. Hope it's okay for me to swear.
Yeah.
Cool. Fuck shit. But yeah, so it's like, and a lot of research I've been doing. So the reason why I'm doing this fast right now is actually to prove that whole thing about your body doesn't take its muscle. So, I ate a lot of food, try to put on some fat. And so I'm doing this fast now and I'm training like 2 times a day minimum. And at the end, I want to show people that look at my muscle mass because I kind of lost my 6-pack. My 6-pack's near enough coming back again. I'm training mad. I don't think I've lost size, but my muscle is definitely looking much more defined. So like, we're going to see what happens at the end of 10 days. I already know the answer already because I've done it, but it's just that, I didn't start off my page before I'd done this one. So
Right. So this is like real life example.
Yeah, but like, if people do the research, if you're doing a fast and you're not training and you're under 10% or 12% body fat, then your body might tap into the muscle. Because again, like you have that fat for survival. So if you're only at 10, 20% body fat, your body will go, because your body doesn't know that you're doing this for your reason. Your body just thinks, oh my God, the world must be bad right now. He's not eating. So like, we're coming down to our last bit of fat. Maybe let's hold on to this fat and we use a little bit of muscle. Because like I say, your fat's got the vitamins A, D, K and J, I think it is. So it might hold on to that, just a little sprinkle. But then if you're training while you're fasting, you're sending signals to the body that you're using all your muscles. So the body doesn't know what you're doing. The body just thinks, oh my God, he's using all these muscles. We need to hold on to that. All right, get rid of the fat, get rid of the cancer cells and dead protein cells and whatever else it can use because you're using your muscles. So you're sending a signal to your body that we need this. So your body ain't going to get rid of it if it needs it for survival.
So you recommend while you're on your fast?
Yep, training.
Train hard and lift.
Training hard. I won't sit there because I don't want to get in trouble. But do yoga, do some stretching, go for little runs, walks. Me personally, I'm only saying
hard?
this, yeah, I'll train hard. I'm only saying this because safety reasons. I don't want to say something and people go train hard and collapse. You know,
but just you personally.
Me personally. So I wake up in the morning, I teach boxing, then I might go and I go sparring. I do 12 rounds of sparring with people, you know. Then later on, I'll go to the gym and I'll spend like an hour in the gym like pushing heavy weights. Or, you know, I might do a circuit class at the wrong gym with my friend Paul. You know, and these circuits are really, really hard. And even one time I was on day 5 doing a fast and I was in his class and I was smashing everybody because I have that good ego, positive ego. So when I walk in the room, I look at everyone, I think, no one ain't going to out-train me today. And then, I out-trained everybody. No one will keep up to me. And it's like, everyone was so surprised that I was in the 5-day fast at this time. So, yeah. So like I say, I think training is great. Listen to your body. You're your own best doctor. Make sure you're drinking your waters and with your salt big time. But yeah, just push yourself. You feel a little bit lightheaded, ease off. You know, you're feeling really, really lightheaded. Have like a sweet, sugary drink kind of thing. That will kind of perk yourself back up. Bit of honey, something like that maybe.
Yeah. Nice. So fascinating. Yeah, just like it's a tool that people can use in their toolkit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we were saying earlier, health is wealth. Like, you know, this is your vehicle. You want to finish the race in a strong way. You don't want to get up to like 60, 70. It's like people in America, I mean, I'm from England, but people in America, like in their 50s, they're on all these medications. And the more medication you take, these medications actually make you ill on something else, give you another problem, this problem. So it's like, you know, you lived quite a good life, but now you're near at the end of the race and now you're just on these medications. You're not feeling well. You're not mobile. You're not strong. You know, do you really want to be like that?
So I feel like we've covered a lot here, but what other myths do you come across that are common in fasting that maybe from today, like we haven't yet covered? I think we've covered some great topics. We covered the fact of that you're going to lose muscle.
You're going to lose muscles.
Hunger as well. Like when you're hungry, you have to eat.
You're going to die.
Yeah.
It's like, again, it's like...
the myth of medication too. Like sometimes like it's needed, but sometimes actually your body can self-heal.
Yeah, it's like, all right, here's a good thing. So research it, guys. Who's the forefathers of medicine? The Greeks, yeah? When you start studying them, Google it, go on ChatGPT, whatever it's called, and put the forefathers of medicine, the Greeks. What did they say about fasting? And you hear about Pluto and all these people. And we learn all our medical stuff from these guys who went to Egypt to learn this anyway. But like, they all talk about fasting. And it's like, I didn't know how much they actually spoke about it until I started studying. It's like all of them say, you don't feel well, fast. You know, if a dog doesn't feel well, what does he do? Stop eating. It's this natural instinct. And the way they're trying to, come on, baby, eat, you know. A lot of the ones who used to teach so many stuff, they used to say like, before they do a big test or anything like that, they used to make their students fast. There used to be certain Greeks that used to do, you know, the athlete stuff. They used to fast like before the athlete stuff. So it's like, you know, it's very interesting, like of what we're told, we're kind of believing the opposite side of it. And then when I start studying, I'm like, wow, it's totally opposite what we've been taught to think. So, you know, like I say, it's that, yeah, you can't train if you ain't got no food in your stomach. Really? Like, well, I've done 13 days. I'm on a 10-day fast now. I'm training. Come and train with me. Yeah, let's see if you can outdo me training. Yeah, I'll do 12 rounds of boxing in the ring. Yeah, like, please. Like, so that's the funny thing. Is like, so that's what I like doing. It's like this whole fasting journey, yes, to help people, but also to put so many myths away, what people think. Because that, let's say I didn't do the 30-day fast and I had my fasting page and people call me out on this stuff. I didn't go with what I think I know or what I've been shown. But he's like, I've done it. I've done it so many times now and I've fully trained and all this stuff. So it's like, kind of puts the myths away.
Yeah.
So the only one I'm sitting on right now is that, oh, it's going to take your muscles away. So even though I know I've done it already, so I know the answer, but just to prove people I'm doing it. And then when people look at my body afterwards, is that, did I look better before or do I look better now? Do I have more muscle now than I did before? which I know I'm going to have more muscle. So
yeah. And I think you just breaking a belief system, the fact that you're sat here doing this podcast on day 8.
Day 8?
Yeah, of not eating. And there he is, mate. So yeah, like the energy that you brought for the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, most people would be like, oh, no, you can do that. Even off fasting for a day.
Yeah.
You're on day 8.
I'm day 8, yeah.
And you trained today?
I trained today.
Oh yeah, you trained with your boxing, yeah.
You can see it. There was a boxing in the ring, but there's a big steel column. So as someone threw a punch, I made it miss. I hit my head. But after this, because it's really hard because I do so many privates now. So as soon as I come out of here, I want to go to the gym and I'm going to work on the muscle stuff, because this one has been a bit hard because I wanted to do this to prove, but I've just been so busy with my social media. I've got so many privates. So it's like, it's just hard for me to do training. And sometimes when I might finish at 5, and I'm a little bit tired then, less motivated. Because I'm doing this fast, I do try to get in the gym once, at least a day, to do some training. So after this, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm really going to push on the weights, do heavy resistance to keep the muscle there.
Epic.
Yeah. I mean, this is also from myself. It's like, I always thought to myself that you might hold on to your muscle, but I want to actually see, can I actually still produce muscle? Because when we fasting, prolonged fasting, your growth hormones take a massive spike. So what is growth hormones? It's for muscle mass and many other things. But it's like, this is my own test for myself. Can we still actually grow muscles when we're fasting? Now, a lot of people say you can't eat protein and all that stuff. That's what you've been taught. I kind of could believe that as well. But it's a test for myself to see if I can actually grow muscle mass. But what I do know is that after I broke my fast, because my growth hormones take this massive spike, and I've been demanding my body that we're pushing all this heavy weight that it needs to give me more mass. So I think definitely when I break my fast, my muscle's gonna grow very quickly. So
fascinating.
Yeah.
Mate, thanks so much for sharing all the wisdom around it.
That's cool, man.
As part of the show, we have a bit of a tradition where we have the vault with mystery messages in there.
I thought you were gonna say money.
yeah, let's go. Let's make it rain. We have the vault and there's some mystery messages in there, and then each guest leaves a message or a question or a statement for a future guest. It could be the next episode or 10 or 50 episodes time. So yeah, man, you have the opportunity to draw a message out.
Okay, where is it?
I'll bring it up.
Okay.
And then we can reflect on it, chat about it for a bit, and then you'll be able to leave a message for future guests.
Sweet.
So yeah, let's go.
What you think is rejected is often divine protection. What was something that didn't go to plan that was in fact for your highest food?
Highest good?
Now you read that to make sure.
Yeah, that's it. What you think is rejection is often divine protection. What was something that didn't go to plan that was in fact for your highest good?
Fasting.
It's perfect, yeah.
Quite perfect, that one. Because look, again, a lot of people always think this, it's not good for you. Then when you do it, you see how actually great it is for you. So even now, the people on my social media, I done a 3-day fast and man, I feel so amazing. And you get people that and then you get one of them people who come up and say, I just finished a 3-day fast or 5-day fast and I feel good. So yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could use that one, maybe, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I mean,
I picked the right one.
Yeah, it's funny actually.
I have food at the bottom as well.
The last guest picked this exact same one out of all of them that are in there. and I think that this actually fits really well with the fasting, because it's once a belief that has been almost like a rejection of that belief of fasting, which in society, the fasting concept for a long time just kind of rejected.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, actually from now it's coming back in and we're really seeing the benefits and how people can use it to heal. And just to hear your personal story today about, how you have used it in your life. And as someone who trains hard, their health is a priority, and you fast, but at the same time are training like a beast. I think even that alone, and you're on a podcast, all of these things, it just breaks the belief systems down of, how can I use this? And maybe that's a question that the listener can either do some more research on or actually just tune into themselves, is how can I explore this opportunity to fast and experiment with it to see how it affects your health, your body, your system.
And guys, you're not going to die. I told you that you will not die. That's what everyone always thinks. But yeah, it's good. It's just a health thing.
Yeah.
It's a big hack.
Yeah. And your Instagram, Simon Says Fast, right?
Simon Says Fast. Yeah, that's my fasting page.
Awesome. And that'll be in the show notes and all that stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, anyone got any questions, throw them out. I do get like sometimes like 50 private messages. Like people got cancer, got this, got that. And I always tell people I'm not a doctor. Yeah, but you know, from my research for myself, and I'll answer it that way. But yeah, if you have a question, feel free to hit me up and I'll see how I can answer it best for you.
Epic. Bro, thanks so much for today.
Thanks for having me on, man. Wicked.
Legend.
That's fun.
Let's go.
Let's go.